Hey guys, it's Hannah Hart's Book 6, and today I'm going to be telling you about the books that I want to read in April. I've already started reading some of these books because it's April 3rd, but I just wanted to tell you about them so you could be updated on all things in my life concerning reading. So we're going to start. Last month was middle grade March, so I'm kind of trying to finish up some middle grade March reads. So I'm going to start with those first. The first one that I've been reading is called The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. And this book is about this girl named Coyote who, with her dad Rodeo, lives on a school bus. And they basically just travel around aimlessly because 5 years ago, her mom and two sisters were involved in a car accident and they died. And the dad, Rodeo, and Coyote, the daughter, had a really rough time dealing with the situation, and instead of dealing with it, they sold all their belongings and bought a school bus. So this is the story of Coyote and trying to find her way back home because a playground that was built in her town is being taken down and is being bulldozed, and apparently her and her mom and two sisters had buried a future memento box, and so she wants to get home without telling her dad Rodeo, because he would cut the process off because he doesn't want to go back to the town. So she has to find out a way to get back to her hometown. Just a lovely adventure happens from there. So I really like it so far. I'm about 135 pages into it, and I'm also reading it as an ebook on Hoopla because it's just easier for me right now. So yeah, it's really good, and a lot of people during middle grade March had good things to say about it and compared it to Walk Two Moons, which is my favorite book of all time. So hopefully it stands up to that, but I don't know yet. We'll see. The next book that I want to read is Rainy Nightingale by Kate DiCamillo. I picked up Louisiana's Way Home by Kate DiCamillo in preparations for middle grade March, and realized throughout watching the live shows that it's actually a companion book to Rainy Nightingale. And then I also found out that there's a book being made about Beverly, who is the third girl in this friendship, and it's coming out later this year. So I figured, I should just read all the companion novels and just get caught up with my Kate DiCamillo reading. But this is Rainy Nightingale. It's about a group of 3 friends, and I'm supposing that there's probably an adventure type of thing that happens. But yeah, I really don't read a lot of synopses, so I'm not super sure what this is about, but it's Kate DiCamillo, so I have a feeling that I'll probably laugh and cry all at the same time. The next one was not really on my radar, but I work at a library, so somebody returned this graphic novel. It was one of the children, actually, so it's a J graphic novel. This one is Click by Kayla Miller, and I truly have no idea what this is about. I guess it's about this middle grade girl who has to be in a talent show. I picked it up honestly because it was just cute, and I really liked theater in high school, so it kind of made me think of theater. Maybe it's more of like a talent show, which I always wanted to participate in but never did because I just never wanted to try out for things. But this is about what the art style looks like, and it kind of reminded me of Raina Telgemeier for some reason, who does like Smile and the Babysitter's Club graphic novels. So that's another reason why I picked it up. But isn't it just so cute? Another thing that I want to read this month that I don't have with me because I read them on Hoopla is Lumberjanes Volume 7. I can't remember what the title is, but I really would like to get to that at some point because I really like Lumberjanes. And I read Volume 6 last month, and it made me remember why I love it so much. The next category of things that I want to read are cozy mysteries, because in my time away from YouTube, I got into my student teaching, and I just found out that I don't have a lot of time to read anymore, and so I need some light reads that I can kind of read throughout the month, or if I'm going days without reading. because it's just my schedule is so busy and I'm student teaching but also working, so it's just life's a little crazy for me. But I found a love for cozy mysteries, and so one of the ones that I picked up from the library that I work at, I picked it up solely for the title because it's so cute, and it is Survival of the Fritters by Ginger Bolton, and it's a Deputy Donut mystery. And I've started reading this. I haven't read it since February actually, because I started middle grade March reads, but I'm on page 82, and I really would like to finish this and get to the sequel, Goodbye Crueler World. Like Crueler, like the dessert. I know, it's super cheesy, but these are my things that I love. And the cat is named Deputy Donut, and basically it's just this small town. This lady owns the Deputy Donut donut shop in her town with her father-in-law, and basically her husband was a police officer, but he was killed in the line of duty. And she has these knitters that come to her donut shop, and they knit on Saturdays, but one of their members is murdered and she has to figure out who's the murderer. So typical cozy mystery, just like amateur sleuth kind of thing. Love it, and I really would like to get to this one. I forgot to mention that Survival of the Fritters is the first in the series. So Goodbye Crueler World is the second one, and this one's the first one. So just to clarify. The next cozy mystery that I want to read / I'm currently reading is Murder with Collard Greens and Hot Sauce. This is the third book in the Mahalia Watkins Soul Food Mystery. I have the other two, Murder with Fried Chicken and Waffles and Murder with Macaroni and Cheese, and I actually reread those. I know it's funny because you don't usually reread mysteries, but I love them so much that I reread them last fall in preparation for this book, which came out March 26th. I pre-ordered it like the day before it came out, and I just had to start reading it because I love it, and the characters are so funny. The main characters in this are Mahalia Watkins, who is the owner of Mahalia Sweet Tea, and Wavon Hicks. Wavon Hicks is her 20-year-old cousin who moved in with her mom because her mom was just unfit, and so Mahalia moved back in to her mom's house to take care of Wavon. But now Mahalia owns this restaurant called Mahalia Sweet Tea, and basically this hair convention has come to town, and this lady, she has a line of hair products. Her name is Monique Dupree, and she comes and visits and gets murdered in the process, and Mahalia and Wavon have to figure out who the murderer is. And oh my gosh, they are such a funny team. I'm about 60 pages into this book, and it's so funny. The covers are always so cute. It's by A.L. Herbert. A.L. Herbert is actually a pseudonym for a Hispanic author, I believe. But the characters in this are both African American, and it's set in Prince George's County, Maryland, where the author actually lives. So I think that's kind of cool. And there's lots of recipes in here. I really want to try some of the recipes because they sound really good, and soul food is just the best. And also it'll always make you hungry because the descriptions of food in this are so wonderful, and I always just want to eat soul food and comfort food after I read this. So the last book that I want to read in April / what I'm currently reading is, or listening to I should say, is Carbs and Cadavers by J.B. Stanley, otherwise known as Ellery Adams. It's another cozy mystery. It's the first in a series, and I found it on Hoopla, and the cover had spaghetti and pizza on it, and I was like, oh, I have to read this. And so basically it's about this man named James who was a professor, but his mother passed away, and he's moved back to his hometown to take care of his father, who's just kind of crotchety and not very kind, and has become a recluse in the years since he retired. And the book opens with James weighing himself and realizing that he's overweight, and so he decides to join a supper club. And he works at the library, and this woman named Lindy comes in and says that she's having a supper club where they meet and eat, and they are deciding which diet they want to decide to do. That was a bad description. But so they call themselves the Flab Five, and they have a meeting. And during their first meeting, one of their members, Lucy, she works at the sheriff's office, and she calls the sheriff and nobody answers. And this is pretty a big deal in a small town because not a lot of bad things happen to where every police officer is gone. So she leaves the scene, and they all file out in one of the members, Bennett's mail truck, and they go to the scene of the Sweet Tooth, which is a bakery in town. And they find out that one of the former high school football players that like lives in the past, still wears his leather jacket even though he's 30 years old, finds out that he's dead on the floor. And my guess is that they all five decide to investigate the murder. Again, I don't read a lot of synopses, so I don't know, but it's a cozy mystery, so I have to figure that it's probably amateur sleuth type of situation. But yeah, those are all the books that I want to read in April. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and comment. I really love to read comments, and it's fun to read comments that are not just from my mom, even though my mom is my most loyal viewer. So thanks, Mom. But anyway, that's it for me. So bye, guys.